Here we have prepared an instructional video on how to measure on-load tap changers, more specifically timing, dynamic resistance, dynamic current at the same time as you're doing the normal transformer winding resistance measurements. Here we will cover how to connect to your transformer and the tap changer with the TRAX and the TSX303, the automatic switch box. How to set up the software and use the dedicated on-load tap changer app, connect the motor current clamp and set up the software for that, as well as connect the up and down contacts from the on-load tap changer to the TRAX panel for full automatic functionality of your testing. Please enjoy! For the software settings, please select Apps, Power Transformer, On-Load Tap Changer. Select the transformer configuration. In our case, a YND11, identified from the transformer nameplate. We are using the automatic switch box, the TSX303, that is automatically selected and identified when connected to the TRAX unit. You will have to choose where your tap changer is located, whether it is on the primary side or on the secondary side, which is the taps on selection. The OLTC type is if it is a vacuum or a non-vacuum, which is the naming from the coming on-load tap changer standard, as we believe. The X is the inductive type and the R is the resistive type. In our case, we have to select a non-vacuum R type. For the secondary side, you can select whether it should be open or short-circuited. This is to be able to replicate previous measurements. Enter number of taps, in our case 19. Our taps are labeled 1 to 19, but in global settings you can relabel them to raise lower or to plus minus naming. Enter nominal voltages and tap changer tap voltages. This will give you each voltage level per tap automatically. Recommended test current is 10 amps. Only the 16 amp DC current source is available in the OLTC app. As we are doing the winding resistance measurement at the same time, we may enter the winding temperature for compensation to 75 or 85 degrees centigrade. Our temperature of the transformer is 15 degrees centigrade. Tap operation control. We connected the raise lower contacts of the tap changer to our TRAX panel. We can now use the plus minus buttons in the software to operate the tap changer. The auto tap switch button is to make the software switch to the next tap automatically by using the tap operation control. Motor current relates to the clamp we connected earlier to the wire of the motor's voltage supply. Take the reading from the clamp to make the settings correct. In our case, it is 10 millivolts per amp. The supply to the motor can be either an AC supply or a DC supply. In our case, it is a DC motor. In the settings window, we can change the stability and the time for stability. Those are parameters for the winding resistance measurement to achieve the best accuracy we can get. For continuity, it is the most simple on-load tap changer test, which is normally done in the winding resistance measurement, and we can of course get this one also in our on-load tap changer test together with the winding resistance measurement. The auto winding switch is for the TSX303. It is to change to the next phase automatically. With this, we have done all the settings and we are ready to press play. When we press play, we will try to saturate the core of the transformer. While doing that, we can see the output voltage and the output current. At the beginning, we are trying to reach the target current, and the voltage will be high and the current will be low. Eventually, the current comes to the set value of 10 amps, and at that time we will have to wait for stability, and that stability to be reached and held for 3 seconds. When that has been fulfilled, the software makes the tap change automatically. After the tap change, the winding resistance measurement value is stored for the tap. We can change to the timing tab to be able to see the transition between tap 1 and 2. In this case, we will be able to identify all the timing parameters for our tap change between tap 1 and 2. Wait for the software to step through all 19 taps. When the last winding resistance value is taken for the last tap, the software will stop, discharge, change phase and continue until all measurements are done and recorded. This will be 57 measurements for a 3-phase 19-tap transformer. All winding resistance measurements are recorded and can be seen in the graph or as a table value. Switch to the timing tab, select one transition, in our case 7 to 8. You can open the graph to view the dynamic current, the voltages, both on the primary side and on the secondary side. You can see the resistance of the transmission resistors. You can look again at the winding resistance measurement graph. You can see the ripple per tap and all phases. You can see the slope per tap and for all phases. You can see the dynamic current as seen for all taps and all phases superimposed, or only the transition between 7 and 8. The motor current can be seen for all taps or just for the transition between the 7 and 8 tap. You can also go to the winding resistance measurement tab, where you can have the selection to include the graph in the report or leave it outside. Going to the report, you will get the transformer nameplate, the timing values, and the winding resistance measurement values, plus the graphs you have selected. Also, any measurements outside the allowed values will be clearly marked in red. Thank you for showing your interest in the TRAX testing capabilities. Hope to see you again soon in a new How to Test episode. All the best from the Transformer team at Megger Sweden.